Hey everybody, this is Perch, and it's a little Texas wild right now. There's some huge hailstorm going on outside, but in this case, I'm not in the car, so this should be at least a little bit better. Hopefully, you're not getting too much background noise. Anyway, there's a story that's kind of slipped a little bit under the radar, and it's that Dark Horse has partnered with Tapas to publish webtoons. So, what is this? Why does it matter? Does it matter? Here's the basic story. So, Dark Horse Books has inked a deal with Tapas Entertainment to publish 4 webtoons that currently run the site as print graphic novels. Dark Horse will publish the first volumes as trade paperbacks in October, with one new series launching each week. And those series are Animal Heads by Sun M and Sam Curtis. It's a thriller about 4 young adults whose job prospects do not meet their families' expectations, forcing them to get creative so they turn to crime, starting with small jobs and eventually getting pulled into the criminal underworld. It's a very popular series. The Tapas series has 22,000 subscribers, racked up over 250,000 views. Then you've got Signals by Nika. It's a mystery suspense series about an investigator who brings something extra to her work. She can read minds. This has 23,000 subscribers, 486,000 views, 70 episodes, so quite a lot of material there. The Flying Ship by Jim Milton. It's a YA LGBT plus story. No Q, apparently. It's about romance and friendship set in a magical world where an adventurer with a flying ship is determined to marry a princess. The series has about 27,000 subscribers and 3.3 million views. It also has 335 issues or episodes. And then finally, Tomahawk Angel. It's by Odysseus Theodoratus, mangaka Ari. And it's set in the year 2050. Sci-fi follows an 18-year-old amnesiac who wakes up in a monster-filled post-apocalyptic world where an evil scientist is intent on wiping out most of humanity. This one only has 5,800 subscribers compared to the others, but over 125,000 views. So this is now, for what it's worth, Tapas does have deals with Yen Press, Andrews McNeil. So some of this has happened before. So is this significant? Why is it significant? What kind of matters or plays into things here? Well, first off, Dark Horse looking to kind of diversify, get some other product out into the market, and play in that manga space where they've got books. Presumably, these graphic novels are going to be printed in we'll put it this way. They'd be absolutely insane not to print it in a size and file format similar to a lot of the tankobon that you see on bookshelves. Doesn't mean they won't do it. I kind of expect to see these things come out in, classic comic book trade paperback format. And you're like, oh, okay. Missed the mark there, but we'll see. But it's a good vehicle for them to put out content, and it's stuff for the shelves. And one thing, 2 bits to notice. First of all, the art for all 4 of these titles, with kind of the exception of the Flying Ship. The Flying Ship feels a little different, but most of them have a distinct kind of manga style in terms of the art. It's various. Manga is not all one style. Every now and then, people come and say, I don't like the manga style. It's like there's a lot. That's like saying I don't like the comic book art. It's like, which one? There's a lot of different styles there. But it definitely feels like it would fit right in on a shelf with manga, and I suspect many of them will be placed there. There's also, and this is the other thing that I've talked about that I think is smart, a huge diversity in terms of the stories being put out. So you've got this book about getting pulled into the criminal underworld. You get a mystery suspense series. You get an LGBT plus YA kind of adventure story, and then you get a sci-fi kind of dystopian apocalyptic world story. 4 very different themes. It's, I'm sure Dark Horse would love it. The publishing strategy here does not seem to be, hey, somebody will buy all 4. They are targeting 4 different markets with 4 different books, and that's smart. So overall, I think it's net positive. Now, the big question, though, is will it move the needle? Will it actually be successful? And if you put a gun to my head and I had to predict it right now, I would probably say no. So let me explain why. The challenge is Tapas, of course, is a very successful site, and its readership, by and large, is very comfortable going and reading the digital copies and enjoying it there. They it's unlike what you see in a lot of comic book, unlike what you see in this channel in the comments. There's not a lot of like, we won't go to digital. Tapas is digital native. It started there. And so, the people who are reading and consuming are happy with the format, or, nobody at this point sticking with Tapas is holding their nose, just hating digital, wishing it all could be print. They're good. So moving to print, it's unlikely you're going to get a huge crossover audience. But you'll get some. I mean, you'll get people who are really big fans of some of these series, and they'll want to buy the hardcovers to have them as kind of collector editions. But, put it this way, if there's 22,000 subscribers to a Tapas series, I think you're looking at a pretty steep, drop of who would pull in. At best, 5%. So about 1,000 people would love the Tapas series, pull into print. That's the general math I would use. So the burden to make these successful, of course, is finding a new audience. And so, like I said, putting this, again, let's hope they put this in a Tonkabon style size so it fits well on the shelf. 4 different comics, 4 different genres, smart. They're doing a lot of the right things, but one thing Dark Horse is going to need to do, and they shouldn't rely on Tapas to do it, is they're going to have to figure out a way to market this. If right now the shelves that these would be going on to are extremely crowded. There's tons and tons of books there already. And so, being able to find a spot there, being able to stand out is going to be tough. These are all new series. And if the belief is, people who are big fans of Tapas are going to go running into the bookstore to buy them, again, like I said, probably not. So you're going to have to find a way to stand out on that shelf. And it's going to be tough to do that. You're going to have to figure out a way to market where the customer's at the bookshop. I think it's going to be difficult. The other piece, and I didn't read this part of the story, but the other piece that I think is going to be difficult is, these are going to bookshops and bookstores and comic shops. Here's the pricing. Animal Heads is coming in at $29.99 for the first volume. Signals is coming in at $24.99. The Flying Ship is coming in at $24.99. And Tomahawk Angel is coming in at $14.99. So as a price point, that's high. Again, that's going to be tough. The shelf is filled with a lot of content that's a lot cheaper. And so you have to stand out and you have to pull people in, and you have to somehow justify this higher price point. That's a lot to ask. I put it this way, for, say, The Flying Ship by Jim Milton. Popular, as I said, 27,000 subscribers, 3.3 million views, 335 episodes. A lot of episodes. It's a YA LGBT story about romance and friendships in a magical world. There's a lot of those. Like, bluntly, I mean, no knock on the genre. There's just a lot. And so you're going to have to find room on that shelf at $25. Is it possible it's successful? Of course. But you're going to have to really market to prove why that price point matters. And that's going to be tough. But curious for the audience here. First of all, have any of you read these stories, like these stories? Tell us a little bit about them. Why do you like them? Do you think the price point's a problem? Do you think this deal overall is a good thing, bad thing? Net positive, I think, in my mind. I think it's good that they're finding other sources of content. It's good that they're diversifying the type of stories they're putting out there. I think that's great. It's just, it is a commitment. Dark Horse is going to have to commit to the bit. And that's, I don't know, what remains to be seen. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course, and thanks for listening.